First, we need to define the qualities of attractiveness. Just because a man's visage has many qualities associated with being traditionally good-looking, that won't necessarily attract people to him. Since there are near infinite ways for a man to be attractive, yet far fewer when it comes to being good-looking. This is an important distinction. Yes, there is some overlap. Good-looking men have an advantage when it comes to attractiveness, although that doesn't mean that they actually know how to take advantage of their good looks. To me, the term brutal truth seems to imply that there is some kind of honesty that is unpopular, an idea or observation that most people are loath to hear. Let me make an attempt to relay some ideas. It is a very surprising fact that some, if not most, good-looking guys are lonely, except maybe the extroverts who defy the odds to make friends themselves. Most people conclude that guys who are handsome already have so many people clustered around them. A girl would see a good-looking guy, but she will choose to ignore him because she feels he already has a lot of girls at his beck and call. Therefore, it would be a waste of time getting to know him. When this keeps happening, you discover that most handsome guys have little or few friends, while some are even single without a girlfriend to call their own. The foremost thing when it comes to being good-looking is that the world will always give you more rope to hang yourself than it would an ugly man. It doesn't matter if you are approaching a woman or trying to climb the corporate ladder. If you look like Mr. GQ Hollywood hunk, you are going to have an advantage over someone that looks like a homeless worm. That said, many women have trouble staying in a relationship with a man they feel is better looking than they are. This can make her act in crazy ways you don't understand until she finally confesses. Sometimes people give a lot of high expectations of good-looking guys. Most times they expect you to be the head or leader. They feel since you are good-looking you should be able to make decisions and be charismatic. They would want to follow your every step. While this can be very difficult for the guys who aren't outspoken, introverted, it could work out well for the confident ones. So it's a bit of an advantage and disadvantage. But the problem comes when you do something out of what your followers expect of you. There will now be a crisis between pleasing yourself and pleasing the people that expect so much from you. Of course, there are always exceptions. Again, an advantage isn't anything more than that. Being born into a rich family is also an advantage. But if you are a complete mess up, you'll still have a hard time being successful. Attractive men, on the other hand, don't necessarily have to be good-looking. Although, once again, having good looks gives you an advantage when it comes to attractiveness. Unlike good looks, attractiveness takes into consideration many more factors than a nice body and well-shaped skull. It revolves around your ability to attract people, to make people want to be around and spend time with you. Charisma, talent, skill, intelligence, social status, body language, wealth, sense of humor, confidence, humility, and personal integrity are just a few to start with. I'm sure you can think of dozens more. Now, one of the brutal truths when it comes to attractiveness is yes, attractive men have most of the advantages in life. If nobody wants to be around you, you won't get very far in life. At least not normally. When it comes to the disadvantages of being attractive, it would be naive to assume that there aren't any. There are advantages and disadvantages to everything in life. Attractiveness is no exception. When you're used to always being the most attractive person in a room, it can make you feel quite isolated. It's true what they say, that it's lonely at the top. As a man, you are under constant attack by other men who are intimidated by you. Your mere presence offends them, threatens their manhood, and they feel a need to challenge you. It doesn't matter how pleasant or helpful you are towards them. It's very hurtful to have other men always trying to publicly shame you when you are being so decent toward them. When you try to be even more decent toward them, instead of attacking back, it pisses them off more, because now everyone sees what an insecure asshole they are. All you wanted to do was be polite. Being a highly attractive man means that you need to grow a very thick skin and learn how to be non-reactive in every situation. You can't let anything anyone says get to you. You can't take anything personally. It's got to run off you like water off a duck's back. For as long as you keep trying to be a better person than you were yesterday, you are going to be scrutinized under a microscope by desperate and daft men in the room. What these men don't understand is that they will raise their status more by befriending the attractive man than they will by challenging him. Yet, there they are, trying to belittle you in every way. If you defend yourself, you stoop to their level, and because your status is so much higher than theirs, you will be interpreted as a bully. All you can do is your best to charm the man that is insulting you. Pay him some lip service that affirms his manhood and leave to go talk to someone who understands proper etiquette when it comes to the art of conversation. Guys who aren't trying to take you down a peg in order to make themselves feel better about their own flawed personality. Getting in a pissing contest with someone who is beneath you is rarely a good idea. Now, at the risk of sounding contradictory, I always like to mentally turn any obstacle into a constructive challenge. You should look at all these attacks as a chance for you to grow and become a better person. And yes, I know that will make a lot of men even more offended by your presence. But what can you do? Should you just become a shittier person so you don't make anyone feel bad about themselves? Should you pretend that we're all equally attractive and valuable just to protect the feelings of insecure men? Try this instead. Get your life together, and then you will feel attractive naturally. Then when some low-resolution man-boy starts treating you the way you used to treat attractive guys, your poetic justice will be served. Nothing comes without sacrifice. You give up a lot of luxuries when you're attractive.